Good morning, friends. Danielle here. Today I'm going to take you behind the scenes of part of what I do for my full-time job. My girlfriend and myself, Rebecca, we both work for Longfield Gardens, growing out their product, cutting the product, testing it, and then photographing it. Now my girlfriend, Rebecca, she grows only their dahlia collection, and I come here, I cut it, I bring it back to my house, and then I photograph it over there, and then I usually just donate the leftover blooms. I don't think I've ever shared this part of my life story with you, but a few years ago I did get a job at Longfield Gardens working as their photographer and also as a writer. So I wanted to give you a brief look at some of the dahlias that we have in bloom before I cut them and bring them home. So right here we have a gorgeous pink ball dahlia called Sandra. And look at the plants. I always love seeing what the plants look like. So they stay nice and low to the ground, shoot up really, really tall stems. Aren't they fantastic? We're gonna cut a full bucket of Sandra today. Sandra or Sandra? I'm sure I'll say at least 10 out of 20 names wrong today. Right here we have American Dawn. I love this one. Gorgeous shades of coral, orange, yellow with hints of purple. Fabulous in the vase. A really nice plant, once again, a shorter plant with really long, strong stems. Great for cutting. If I'm remembering Rebecca's order correctly, I think she ordered 10 of each variety so that we would have a nice amount to cut from. The next one is called Bacardi, and I grew this one at my house last year and I just absolutely adored it. Look at that deep maroon center, nice pink petals with a little bit of yellow. Just gorgeous. Great any time of the year, great in summer and in fall. The plant is a little bit short here. When I grew it at my house, it was a bit larger. Let's take a look at this one over here. I should probably hold my hand up to the blooms for perspective. Just gorgeous, isn't it? It's been raining all night, so it's beautiful to see some of these blooms covered with raindrops. Right here we have a row of Lavender Perfection, and when we get back to my house, I'll show you some better footage of Lavender Perfection, because I was over here yesterday cutting all of the light pinks and purples. So we don't need to cut any of these today. But, oh my goodness, look at that. I've been really surprised with the vase life on Lavender Perfection. Much better than Cafe Ole. And Lavender Perfection is even bigger than the size of my hand. Just gorgeous. Next up is Bahama Mama. I love this one. Coral, yellow, deep maroon center. Here's what they look like at the beginning. And here's what they look like going over just a bit. And I did cut this one yesterday also, and you can still see there's tons of blooms left on the plant. Let's head down this way now and see Sandra from the other direction. I have to check the names of these maroon ones, but I'll put them on the screen. But really gorgeous maroon dahlia here. Perfect for fall. We're gonna cut a whole bucket of these and bring them back to the house. Over here we have Odo's Thrill. Do you say Odo's Thrill or Otto's Thrill? I'm never sure how to say these dahlia names, but I cut these and brought them back to the house. So I'll show you what they look like over at my place. Over here we have a dahlia that we grew together, I think 2 years ago. Let's see if I can get a good shot of it. It's called Marrow Star. I thought it was just okay. Definitely more of a landscape dinner plate dahlia. Let's head over there to where we have Lilac Time. I love the stems on lilac thyme. You can see they're a deep maroon, and the structure of the plant itself is just stunning. We're gonna have lots more of those blooming in just a few weeks' time. This ball dahlia is called Snowcap, and I am getting an entire week of vase life from Snowcap. Beautiful white blooms with just a hint of yellow. Really nice structure to these plants. Will be great in the garden, will be great in a cutting garden. And also, as I said, it's just a fantastic cut flower. So beautiful. Over here we have Creme de Cognac. I think we grew this one together a few years ago. Do you guys remember that? Anyone else growing Creme de Cognac this year? Really nice rusty orange and yellow tones in this one. Perfect for fall. Here we have the always reliable Cornell Bronze. This is my favorite orange colored dahlia. Close second is Jowie Nikki. And then down here, I'm pretty sure we have Brown Sugar. So there's a look at the field Rebecca is growing for a long field. You can see her personal field is there in the distance. I'll just head over there and give you a brief overview of what that looks like. And then I'm gonna grab about 4 more buckets of flowers. We'll take them home and see what they look like in the vase. All right, friends, we are back home now and I'm preparing to photograph all of these gorgeous dahlias. Now, depending on what we need the photographs for, I might put large amounts of the same exact dahlia in a large vase. So for example, we've got Bahama Mama, Lavender Perfection, and we need vase shots of those for the website. But sometimes I'm also working on things for articles. So I'm working on a decorative dahlia article. So I'm gonna pop all the dahlias out that are decorative, like Lilac Time, Bacardi, and American Dawn, and photograph those together. I'm gonna do some bucket photographs with the beautiful Joey Morella and Sandra, and then I'll also do some flat lays. I usually do this in the middle of the day when it's hot and too sunny to take photographs, and then I head back out in the evening into my yard and do photography and videography for Longfield. So let me show you what that part of my day looks like. In the past, I would only use my DSLR camera to shoot these photographs, and I still bring out that camera and shoot every single situation with the DSLR. But increasingly, people are wanting photographs that come to life. And so what I've been doing this year is doing a DSLR photo shoot, an iPhone photo shoot, and then from the exact angle that I shot the picture from, I go ahead and take some video footage. That way, as you scroll through the website, it literally looks like the picture is coming to life. At least that's what I'm going for, and we're getting a new server this year for our website, so I'm really excited to see how this works out. Which one is your favorite? Oh, I think she picked the Merlot one. Good choice, Grace. Back to work. Oh, time for a fountain drink, actually. Grace and I just finished our shooting for the evening. I always like to come out here at golden hour and take a bunch of shots, and Grace is always sitting on my feet while I'm shooting. Here's a look at all the vases put together for the day. I take pictures of them individually, grouped together from the side, from the top, every which way that I can think of. And here's one last look at all the gorgeous dahlias from over at Rebecca's. It is now 7:30 p.m. and we have officially lost the light. I thought I would show you what we do with these dahlias once we're done photographing them. The large bucket of Joey Morella blooms is going to my girlfriend, who's an aspiring florist. What happens to these dahlias as I work with them throughout the day is a lot of times their petals are damaged, and of course they're in and out of water. Sometimes I do take them outside and they get hot. Especially those pink dahlias, the Sandra dahlias, those got way too hot in the middle of the day for me to sell them. So those ones will live inside our house. And then the other ones just come in here into the garden library. They look beautiful from a distance, but if we look at their petals close up, you can see that they are really damaged after me working with them all day. Well, friends, I think that does it for today's video. Grace and I want to wish you a wonderful day out there in your gardens, and we'll see you sometime real soon. Bye, friends.